Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cant Sports, and it's our weekly breakdown of the NFC North. Talk about all the teams in the North. Let's talk about the first sad team. Thursday night, Seahawks-Bears, final 6-3. It's very difficult to talk good about the Bears. Hey, their defense did great. Held them to 6 points. Their offense.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
They had absolutely nothing.
Not much to say about those guys.
Caleb Williams, he had a day, 122 yards, interception. Probably didn't help. He got sacked 7 times on the day.
Awful.
So, that didn't help. So that offensive line is not helping. They did run for 103 yards, though. So at least their rushing attack did something.
Right.
But you got to protect Caleb Williams. I want to say the Bears can have hope next week against the Packers, but I don't know. I don't even know if we can give them that hope against the Packers.
I don't think so. And plus, does that game mean anything?
No.
Seeding-wise?
Well, actually, yes, it might mean something.
For the Packers.
For the Packers, who they face. Right now, the Packers are the 7th seed, I believe. But we'll get more into that as we move on. We'll get more into that as we move on. But the Bears overall, again, bad game. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. I don't think the guy who's the interim coach is going to stay as their head coach.
No.
Because he has not shown any improvement for the team. But a 6-3 final is not how you want the game to go. Go die.
No. Let's stop talking about the Bears. They suck.
You know what?
You suck, Bears.
You don't have any opinion on the Bears, Rob?
Well, I just feel for the fans. As a Lions fan, I can commiserate with them. But at least they got some pieces, some people that they can build around, for the next seasons, and let's see how they do in the draft.
We'll move on to Monday night because the other game is in the division. We'll move on to Monday night. Lions taking care of business in San Francisco, getting their revenge, 40-34. It didn't look really wasn't that close. You kind of just got a garbage time TD from San Fran, a very bad kicking performance. If you want the full thing, we do our post game for the Lions and 49ers every line. So more into that, but overall, good game by Goff. Good rushing attack by the Lions, and their defense did what they could with what they are.
Right. There's no doubt that they're going to have to, work on the defense over the next few weeks. There's no guarantee we're going to beat Minnesota. We may be the top wildcard team. May not be fair.
But you're undefeated on the road. Lions undefeated on the road. First time in franchise history they've been undefeated on the road.
So, what can you say? They played their butts off. You win 14 games in a season. You're one of the elite teams. And you may not be rewarded for it.
No.
And the same thing goes for Minnesota. They may not be rewarded for having a phenomenal season.
Yep. Overall, Lions, again, this is their 5th game this year with 40 points and no turnovers. That's the first time that's ever happened in the NFL, too. It's just constant record breaking with this team. Last year, they constantly broke records. This year, they're breaking records.
Right.
It's difficult to doubt.
They deserve a better fate. They should be the number 1 seed, but, Minnesota has done, with an easier schedule, has done what they need to do to be right there. And they're a very good football team. There's no doubt about it. They could beat us on Sunday night. I think, with our defense being injured the way it is, I'd say it's a pretty even matchup.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, that's the way the NFL works. Is your division leaders, and some divisions are weaker than others as the years go by. There have been times when the NFC West has had a lot of competition, and that's unfortunately just the way the game is, and it has affected many teams. And this year, it's really showing itself in the NFC North with 3 winning teams with strong records on the road.
They have 3 teams with at least 12 wins. We'll see how it goes next week. Going into the final game in the divisions, thanks for nothing, Green Bay. Losing to the Packers. Well, Minnesota beating the Packers, not losing the Packers. Minnesota winning 27-25. Packers couldn't do it for Detroit. If the Packers would have won, number 1 seed, division clinch, but that is not how the NFL wants it. They want an all-for-nothing game on Sunday Night Football next week. And Minnesota didn't have a bad day. Sam Darnold 377 yards, 3 TDs, and an interception. Only got sacked one time. I call that a fantastic day. And Minnesota ran for nothing. 69 yards on the whole entire day.
But Green Bay had to come back, didn't they?
Green Bay had to come back,
Yes.
but still, thanks for nothing. Jordan Love was 19 for 30, 185 yards of TD, sacked 3 times. He only ran for 104 yards. It's difficult to call Jordan Love a fantastic quarterback when this is like the 5th straight week that he's been subpar.
He's a
Packers fans. Your QB is not the best in the division. He's 3rd best behind Sam Darnold right now.
Right, he may be. He may develop into a better quarterback, but as of now, he's very
streaky,
like my pants.
He sucked. He has not played well the past 2-3 weeks, and if he continues to play that way, he is not going to do good in the playoffs. And we'll kind of look at the playoffs right now because it does affect 3 NFC North teams. But we'll actually look at our next week's game first. First up, we'll talk about the lackluster game between next week. The Bears going to Lambeau. I don't think any of us doubt who's going to win that game. Green Bay is favored by 8.5. Right now, they also have a 75% chance to win. Could the Bears surprise the Packers?
It could happen.
Are the Packers going to rest players?
I don't think so.
But here's the thing. It's a lose for the Bears because you could either lose to the backup and continue to suck in the eyes of the division, or you are going to basically.
I think Malik Willis can certainly beat the Bears.
Either you beat a backup or you just lose to the team. Basically, if you could beat Jordan Love, it looks a little bit better. But also you're going to ruin your draft spot. You're 4-12. If you lose next week, you can still hop up to a top 5 pick again. The whole entire league sucks. But I think we're all probably agreeing that Green Bay is going to win, and it'll be 12-5 going into the playoffs.
I mean, if you're the Bears, maybe this is a time to see what you've got deep on your bench. That way, you could have your 3rd string players play their hearts out and kind of prove themselves, and that way you're not deliberately tanking and you're evaluating what you have. I myself, I don't like it if teams appear to be deliberately losing. That just not the spirit of professionals. But if you can see what you got out there, deep into your bench, that way what you're evaluating for, what you're going to be drafting for next year.
Yeah.
I guess, like I said, the people evaluating this aren't going to be here next year. The coaching staff and everything else are going to be gone. So
they're hoping
this is about as pointless a game for the Bears.
Rumors for the Bears are, besides Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel might be going there. Pete Carroll has expressed interest to go there. Which for Lions, Pete Carroll always had the Lions number in Seattle, so that might be something you want to look at if you're the Bears fan.
He's
but
like 78 years old.
He's 78 years old. But
I'm not sure if he wants to go back into full-time coaching. Is that the rumor?
He does.
He's interested in the Bears job.
He's a damn sexy guy.
There's been rumors that there's been playing rumors that people are interested in the Chicago Bears job.
What we ought to look up is when Aaron Rodgers, during his entire career with the Packers, what his record was against the Bears, even in Chicago. It was amazing. He really had their number.
Yeah,
and this is Aaron Rodgers' last season, I believe, isn't it?
No, he wants to play next year. He wants to play next year. He wants to play next year.
For nobody,
but
he's not under contract.
But no, he's not. But he wants to play.
Who the hell would
Anyway, moving on. Aaron Rodgers is not in the NFC North, so he does not get talked about anymore.
No one's going to sign him.
But we're not
talking. Could you imagine if the Bears signed him up as a stopgap for a season?
You want Minnesota will sign him and he'll continue Brett Favre's legacy. He'll sign with Minnesota and continue what Brett Favre did. That's what will happen. But moving on to the final game, Minnesota and Detroit. It's for all the marbles, the number 1 seed, the division. Right now, Aaron Jones is hurt. He got hurt in that game against Green Bay. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Justin Jefferson has always done well against the Lions. We'll see if we can hold Sam Darnold down. He has had a fantastic year so far. 35 TDs to 12 interceptions, 4,100 yards. But that doesn't... Goff has also had a fantastic year with 36 TDs, 10 interceptions for 4,400 yards. So he's about a good game out of Goff, and he'll be over 4,500, which is good. Gibbs has taken control of the running back room. He has won me the fantasy championship this year with how his performance against the 49ers. Thankfully, I was stressing out with that one. And obviously, St. Brown has also been doing real good this year. Along with JMO, you have 4 people over 1,000 yards on the Lions. So there's that. But I think with the 2.5 favorite, I think coming back, there's rumors that Montgomery could be back for this game. I don't think he will be, but there's talks that he could be back for this game.
Okay.
Anzalone, I don't know. I think Raymond could possibly be back this game. Anzalone's questionable to be back this game. There's a chance, I would say, for Anzalone to be back, but I don't think so. I think it's mostly if you're getting anyone back from off IR, it will be Raymond. You'll get your punt returner back, another wide receiver to add back, and we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm already proud of the guys. 14 wins. What the hell?
Yeah.
You know, you can't get down on them whether they win or lose against Minnesota. They've had a hell of a year. So it'll be fun. And the playoffs will be fun regardless.
So, yeah, I'll let you talk about it before I get into the playoffs.
Well, before we get to the playoffs, I just wanted to mention that the system that Sam Darnold is in maximizes his strengths and minimizes his weaknesses. And every now and then, Minnesota will have a big play, and that's one weakness in the Lions' defense is that occasionally they give up chunk plays.
Yes.
So that's a concern.
We'll see what ends up happening. Get some injuries back, and we'll see how this game goes. But it's going to be a good, close game Sunday night. The last game of the year, last day of the regular season, is Lions Vikings in Detroit. Looking at the playoff picture real quick, just because it affects 3 of the NFC North teams and what they want to look for next week. Right now, if it ended the way it is, right now the Lions would have the number 1 seed in the bye. Philly is number 2. LA is number 3. Tampa is number 4. So this means Minnesota goes to Tampa. I feel pretty confident in that matchup for Minnesota. In Tampa, obviously. Minnesota or Lions in Tampa. We could do both. Minnesota.
Yeah, I feel confident in either one. Although Baker Mayfield's always a wild card.
He's been hot as of late.
Yeah.
Also, it could end up being LA in that spot. That could also happen if LA loses this week and Tampa wins.
Really?
Then LA would be the 4th seed. That's
yeah.
also possible. So you could be going to LA as well if you're the 5th seed. And facing Matt Stafford in LA if you're the Lions.
That would be tough.
That would be tough. And I tell you what, any team coached by Sean McVay will be ready to play in the playoffs. So you have to be prepared for all kinds of surprises and special packages.
It's a weird thing that I'm feeling confident about the wild card teams over the division winners, because your second wild card spot is the 6th seed with Washington going to, again, Tampa or LA. And Jaden Daniels, he's been playing very well. They just recently beat the Eagles. And I think Washington could surprise some people and beat a division winner.
Well, I wouldn't want to have to face them. Yeah.
Washington has a chance to win their division.
They actually still have a chance. I think they still have a chance to win their division. But I'm not interested.
Oh,
no, they don't. They don't still have a chance to win their division.
I know.
No, but they're the 6th seed. I think I have more confidence in them that playing.
I want them to be the 7th seed because I want them to face Philly first. That'll be a great game. Washington can beat Philly. In Philly.
Well, I think Washington can take care of business against LA and Tampa too.
Well, they could.
Right, but this is if it finishes the way it does. Green Bay is going to go play right now. They're the 7th seed, so they would end up playing Philly at the moment.
To eliminate Philly, and I think Washington's probably the best one to do that.
Well, it's either Washington or Green Bay. You would want to go to Philly, and you rather have Washington over Green Bay. Go to Philadelphia.
Yes.
I don't think the NFL does not like division matchups in the playoffs. So I think the playoffs are going to end how they are now. They're going to, well, what do you mean? The NFL will rig how they want,
There's 3 teams in our division, so we're going to have some.
Well, no, I'm saying in the first round, they don't like division games. First round, they don't like division games. So it's not, I think it's going to finish the way it is. Washington's going to end up going to LA or Tampa. Green Bay, your date is with Philadelphia, in my opinion.
Yes.
And get ready to go play Philly and Philly, Jordan Love. You're in the city of brotherly love. Play like you should.
Yes.
Have to see how that
but I don't know who's Washington is playing the Cowboys, so I think they're pretty good on securing their spot where they're at. Just for shits and giggles, we'll look at the last one. Bucks are playing the Saints. Now, there is a chance the Bucks don't make the playoffs. We're going to ask how. That's because Atlanta has to beat the Panthers, and then the Bucks have to lose to the Saints. If the Bucks lose to the Saints and the Falcons beat the Panthers, then you go to Atlanta instead of Tampa.
Oh, for the first round.
So I'm gonna say anybody who thinks so. If you're a Lions fan, worst case scenario, you lose tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Sunday. Be cheering for New Orleans and be cheering for Atlanta.
Yes.
That's what you want, because that way you have an easier game. I'm fine with playing Atlanta.
Although, you know what, that Michael Penix has injected a lot of new life into their offense, and so they're more mobile now. Everybody's saying that it's a different picture now with the change in quarterback. They can open up the playbook a little wider and do things that Captain Kirk wasn't able to do. He's still a good guy, still can make some passes, but his injuries have obviously slowed him down. He can't run around as well as Penix can.
No, he cannot. But hey, we'll see what ends up happening. This will be an interesting playoff picture.
I can't imagine Atlanta beating anybody. They suck.
They're playing the Panthers.
Well, next week,
But playoffs, no. They ain't going to win the playoffs.
You never know.
They ain't going to win the playoffs. But with all that being said, we'll end the video there. A little playoff talk. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about all the stuff going on in the North and the playoffs. Until next time, we'll see everybody soon.